Creationism, because it's a lot easier to read one book than a bunch of hard ones.
Well, my name's Kent Hovind. I taught high school science for 15 years, and now, for the last 16 years, I've been an evangelist. I speak about 900 times a year now on the subject of creation, evolution, and dinosaurs. And I take the position that the Bible is literally true and scientifically accurate.
Here's a bit of man-made dogma Kent Hovind claims was created by this man-made God. When a man strikes his male or female slave with a rod so hard that the slave dies under his hand, he shall be punished. If, however, the slave survives for a day or two, he is not to be punished, since the slave is his own property. Exodus 21:20-21. According to Kent Hovind's Bible, which is a man-made book of fiction, beating slaves is okay, and murdering them is okay too, as long as they survive a day or two after they've been severely beaten. It's detestable criminal filth.
And the evolution theory being taught in our schools in violation of the First Amendment is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the history of planet Earth.
It's actually the exact antithesis of what Hovind said. Children should never be taught that man-made fairy tales are real. That would be criminal. And our First Amendment says, Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion. So it can never infect our secular country with its infantile man-made dogma.
For the last 200 years, Christians have been extremely confused.
Finally, a truth.
Yes, dinosaurs lived, but when did they live? Where do dinosaurs fit into the Bible?
Dinosaurs do not fit into the Bible at all, because the Bible is man-made fiction written by primitives, and dinosaurs are a matter of fact, proven by science. The very same science that created the artificial heart, and airplanes, as well as all other technology that we currently use. Religion only pretends to know things, where science actually does know them, and can prove them.
Here are two of my grandkids playing with one of the dinosaurs at Dinosaur Adventureland. We have a wonderful time.
An irrelevant, unrelated plug for Hovind's idiotic religious theme park.
Christians, though, often are very confused of where they fit in.
They evolved, and were then taught a man-made religion, a step backwards.
Now this guy in National Geographic.
Interesting Freudian slip. Perhaps Hovind's is into kiddie porn, like many Catholic priests.
And yesterday we talked about Seminar Part 2, what the Garden of Eden was like.
It was like what the primitive authors imagined and pretended it was like in their fictional book, the Bible.
It says, God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
How childish, since it has no understanding of plate tectonics or any other physical laws of nature and science.
We talked about how God originally created the world with a canopy of water overhead, which all fell down at the time of the flood. It's gone now.
Notice that there is no explanation of how this man-made God was created from absolutely nothing. And, if this illusory God could have been formed from absolutely nothing, then it stands to reason that there's absolutely no need for this man-made God, since everything could have come from absolutely nothing, without this man-made imaginary God.
Psalm 136, he stretched out the earth above the waters.
And Psalm 137:9, which says, Blessed shall he be who takes your little ones and dashes them against the rock. Psalm 137:9.
I don't know why Christians can read that and read right over it and not see what it's saying.
Or this, the people of Samaria must bear the consequences of their guilt. Because they rebelled against their God, they will be killed by an invading army. Their little ones dashed to death against the ground, their pregnant women ripped open by swords. Hosea 13:16.
What caused the flood in the days of Noah? We call it the Hovind theory, so nobody else will get blamed for it, but...
Or, you could call it the idiot theory. That way it's titled accurately.
From the creation 6,000 years ago, up until the flood,
The Earth is 4.54 billion years old.
4,400 years ago, the world was very different. During that time frame, the Bible says the people lived over 900 years.
The Bible is man-made fiction.
They really, honestly did.
No, they really honestly did not.
Lived to be 900 plus.
Average life expectancy was about 25 years.
It's interesting, many ancient cultures have a legend about what they called the Golden Age. The Babylonians, the Sumerians, the Egyptians all talked about a time when man used to live to be nearly 1,000.
King Tut died at age 19, verifiable by medical science. Cairo, Egypt. The results of a computed tomography scan done on King Tut's mummy indicate the boy king was not murdered, but may have suffered a badly broken leg shortly before his death at age 19. A wound that could have become infected, Egypt's top archaeologists said. Of course, with modern advancements in medicine, like atheist Jarvik's artificial heart, people have extended their lifespans, living well beyond what they had done in prehistoric and primitive times. Primitive times like those when the primitive men wrote the Bible, a book of fiction.
Well, that's because it was really true. They really did live to be almost 1,000.
No, they didn't. They lived to be about 25. Who is this kook Kent Hovind, in reality? Pensacola evangelist Kent Hovind was sentenced to 10 years in prison on charges of tax fraud. Apparently, kook Kent Hovind didn't pay much attention to his man-made Bible, which says, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God." Romans 13:1. Thank goodness kook Kent Hovind is behind bars where he belongs, rather than teaching the uneducated his fairy tales.